Okay, namaste, great souls. We are here to practice together, and I think we'll just get right into it. I'll come in onto the mat and do some very simple, what's called balance breathing. And we're going to have an equal inhale to an equal exhale. And we'll do a couple, 2 to 3 rounds of 2, 3, and 4, meaning inhale 2, exhale 2. Couple rounds of that. Inhale 3, exhale 3, up to 4, and just feel the effects of the equal breath. Okay. Here. And there was. Okay. So as always, sitting comfortably. Notice what you're bringing to the mat today, physically, tuning in, emotionally, mentally, and the spiritual awareness that holds it all. We will definitely bring those aspects into balance, the physical, mental, emotional self. So first, just go ahead and lengthen through the crown, root down through the sit bones, and just go ahead and exhale through the mouth. Keep it simple. Slow inhale through the nose. 1, 2. Exhale through the nose. 1, 2. Inhale. 1, 2. Exhale. 1, 2. Inhale. 1, 2. Exhale. 1, 2. Now we'll go to 3. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Let's go to 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then just let the breath appear however it's appearing. And just see how that landed for you, if you prefer to 3 or 4. We don't want to add any tension into our breathing practices. And I know counting can sometimes do that for people. So just know you're finding your own pace, you're finding your own rhythm. It could be a 5 or a 6 for you to find that equal balance, but use it as a tool to regulate the nervous system with the equal balance of energy and relaxation. Awesome. Let's do cat-cow seated. Exhale, rounding the spine, tucking the chin to the hollow of the throat. Inhale, lift the heart, lift up through the crown. We're looking up, adding a gentle back bend. Exhale, round. Hear the sound of the breath. Inhale. Heart lifts up, eye gaze up, looking upward. And then as we exhale, we could close the eyes and go. Draw the navel to the spine, come down to wherever you're feeling, the shoulders, the root, second chakra. One more time. Inhale, scoop, opening up, scooping. Exhale, rounding. All right. Let's get the legs involved here, drawing the knees up. Having your props ready, strap, block, etc. And having your blanket. So we did Seated cat-cow. Now we're just going to do regular cat-cow into puppy pose. Think of cat-cow as a transition into puppy. Scooping out, inhale, exhale, rounding. If you want to ease back towards your heels, go ahead. Inhale again, scooping, exhale, rounding. Easing back, if preferred. Now the puppy pose is coming with the knees underneath the hips and then stretching our arms out in front of us. Depending on your neck, you may want to put a bolster at the spiritual eye. There's a lot to bring your chin down. It's sometimes too much to do that. And just stay here and breathe. If you want to add on with the prayer hands, you bring your palms together and bring the hands somewhere by the back of the neck, upper spine. Just hear the sound of the breath. Feel a wonderful opening. And as part of a theme for today's class, reaching the arms out in front, we're going to do what's called sacred inquiry. And we're just going to ask a question and listen for the answer. And the question is one of the questions, many sacred inquiry questions, which is also a chant. What is this life flowing through my veins? What is this life flowing through my veins? Just contemplate that. Lift off of the knees, hover. In the chant, it's after that inquiry says, can it be other than divine? See if that resonates with you as you pour back and tread out the heels, through the heels. Full body stretch. Really press into the base of the fingers and thumbs. Wonderful to get that blood flow to the brain. What is this life flowing through my veins? Can it be other than divine? And the affirmation in this pose is calmness, peace, radiate through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. And let's ripple. Let's just get into our warm-up ripple, meaning we bend the knees. We did those cat stretches, so we kind of use it a little bit to take a moment in Cobra and then pour back. That's too much. You just kind of ripple like this. Give me some ease, grace. And then we come into our plank pose and bring one forearm down, then the opposite. Bring my blanket down farther. Reach forward with the crown, reach back through the heels, back and forth, and then come onto the top of the knees, unfurl the toes. And we are rocking side to side, but we're going to make it more specific in our Sphinx pose, meaning we're going to take a little bit more time to go to each side. So bringing the left forearm at an angle here. Right elbow bends, we're twisting, looking over our right shoulder, and then easing back. And we twist, we pulse, legs are strong, you forget about, and energizing them, and then come back. And of course, the same thing on the other side. Just bring in our right forearm at this 45-degree angle, left elbow up, legs strong, twist, Sphinx twist, looking over, And coming back. Just slowing it down a bit. Twisting. And then we take that wonderful release, full yogic breath on our belly, stacking one hand on top of the other, resting at the spiritual eye, opening to our wisdom self as we breathe in, belly, heart, crown. On the exhale, crown, heart, belly, feet. Soften where you can, probably the shoulders. What is this life flowing through my veins? Can it be other than divine? There's the inquiry and the chant together. Now we're going to rise up in our Bhujangasana, cobra pose. So open the feet hip width apart. Imagine a block between your inner thighs. So we're protecting our low back. You go up as high as you would like. As we rise joyfully, inhale to meet the opportunities of this day. Add the lion's breath if you like. Couple times. I rise joyfully to meet the opportunities of this day. And then we come back into a wide angle prayer pose, meaning the knees go wide out to the side. And we stretch our arms out in front of us, resting at the spiritual eye again. And keep returning to that wisdom center within us. We all have that wisdom within. We're just again and again returning to it, maybe being in it as we longer and longer, so there's no separation as we round up into a rounded cat. For a moment, bring the knees in underneath the hips, rock side to side, get the flow going, and you may want to even add more flow by coming back toward the heels. You can go in the opposite direction too, if that's okay on your knees. Setting up for our friend downward facing dog. Hover off of the knees. Or back through the heels. Magnetize the heart towards the thighs. The physical principles of always. So that we can open to the divine affirmation, the invitation, the truth of calmness and peace radiate through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. You may not be feeling it now, but that's the ultimate truth of our being. Peace within. And then stepping one foot forward if it's time for you, then the other. Walking the hands toward the feet. Resting in our forward fold, Uttanasana. Equally balanced to the 4 points of the feet. Relaxing and casting aside unnecessary worries and burdens, things we can't control. Get used to letting that go. What we can, make it open to this life force energy, bending the knees, chair pose, Uttasana, transition and a pose in itself, strengthening and rooting. Inhale, rising, coming to the front of your mat. And feel the space all around. And coming into mountain. lengthening through the crown. Second of many inquiries. What is this energy flowing through my form? Just open to that question as we inhale. What is this energy flowing through my form? Add a bit of a back bend here. Inhale back to center, large toes turn in, swan dive forward. Inhale, step it back to three-legged dog if this is in your practice. If not, keep both feet on the ground, otherwise lift that right leg up and opening the hip to the side, rotating the right ankle. And then you could stay here, or you can add that coming into plank for a moment, bringing that right knee toward the right elbow and then toward the left and then back again. And then giant stepping forward, taking your time to step that right foot between the hands into our lunge, pulse with the heart opening. What is this energy flowing through my form? Rounded cat, upper body, reach back through the heel. Can it be other than divine? Pulse up again. And round. And this time as we pulse up, we're going to allow that left knee to come down with stability and take our time with our bent knee lunge. Okay, setting it up here. Inhale, reaching the arms, heart open wide. Exhale, bend the elbows. I attune my will to the source of all power. Feel that alignment, that attunement. Breathe it in. Excellent. Reach behind you. Interlock. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and release forward into our deeper lunge. Walking that right arm in, opening up the hip, side to side. Again, that flow. What is this energy flowing through my form? Now we're going to play with this lunge and we're going to turn the back toes under. We're going to flow through first before we add on to it. We'll go to the other side first. You're going to step it back to plank. Again, either stable or coming forward, coming back. And either bringing one forearm down then the other, or classic chaturanga. Unfurl and you rise up to your ability in this moment. As I rise joyfully to greet each opportunity today. Open through all the chakras. Sticking out the tongue, opening the throat chakra, especially powerful. And then pouring back or resting in child. You decide you want to take rest or keep it more active with the downward facing dog. Stable, flowing, a combination. Calmness, peace radiate through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. If you're in a child's pose, it's time to transition into regular down dog or three-legged down dog, inner quarters of the feet together for three-legged.
Left knee lifts up. And rotating the left ankle. Notice how that left shoulder likes to turn out. Bring it, try to bring it, the upper body facing the mat as much as you can. Perhaps adding in that left knee to elbow, to right elbow, and back. Optional. And giant stepping forward. Take your time, stepping through the ankle perpendicular as we pulse forward, heart lifts, eye gaze up. Exhale, rounding, reaching through that back heel. One more time. Pulsing up. And exhale, rounding. When you're ready, coming on top of that right knee, somewhere by, find that position where it feels the best. Become upright. Look at a point on the floor for the balance. Once you have the balance, inhale, reaching up. Exhale, ease those hips down. I attune my will to the source of all power. Pulsing up. I attune my will to the source of all power. See what your arms want to do here. If possible, we're going to reach back, maybe interlock. Deep heart opener. The back bend as then we come into our lunge. Left hand inside that knee. Come off. Well, first let's just ease side to side. Excellent. And then we can come forward and back a bit. And we'll go into our classic flow, or we'll meet down dog or child. Step it back. Forearm, maybe plank or chaturanga. Lots of options to meet your body's needs today as we ease from side to side and then rise upward, rising joyfully. Legs strong to meet the opportunities and each moment of this day. Okay, and go ahead, let's take a rest. Let's go back to that wide knee prayer pose. Continue to tune into the sound of your breath. And inquire, what is this consciousness flowing through my brain? What is this consciousness flowing through my brain? Can it be other than divine? And rounding up. Rounded cat. Scooping out. And transitioning as we turn the toes under, back to down dog. Lots of down dogs. Good day, lots of down dogs happening. Maybe make those figure eights with the hips. And start to walk forward. Let the feet walk the hands toward the feet. You decide if you want to rest your palms upward at the hollow of the elbows, underneath the soles of the feet. Relaxing and casting aside any unnecessary mental burdens. And when you're ready, no back issues, we could around the spine coming up, otherwise keep the spine in the chair from earlier to come upright. Sweep the arms up. What is this consciousness flowing through my brain? Can it be other than divine? Let's bring our hands to the heart. Sending peace and harmony prayers to those perhaps starting in your family and friends. Peace and harmony. Maybe they filled with peace and harmony. And then extending out that prayer of peace and harmony to the world. And we want to be that light. And back to that light within and bringing it out to others as well. So we're going to go into this pyramid flow series a little bit different with a quad stretch. It'll make sense as we do this. So hands on your hips, feet hip width apart, hinging forward, large toes in. Stepping, bending both knees and stepping your right foot back into pyramid. You can use blocks here. Left hip back, right hip forward. I open fully to the flow of grace. I open fully into the flow of grace. Bowing to the wisdom of the heart here. Forward fold to the wisdom of the heart, back of the heart really expanding. Now we're going to add the quad stretch. So it's like a vinyasa pyramid situation going on. So we're going to bend both knees, just like we were earlier. We're lifting up. We're not reaching our arms off the ground. But this time, as we go back to pigeon, we're going to flex back through this left foot. So when you go back to pigeon, lift the toes of the left foot up. And as you open fully into the flow of grace. 3 to 4 full yogic breaths here. You can feel that more most likely with the toes feel back. And then we add that quad stretch again. Bending the knees, but this time we test it. I want to see, can I lift my arms up like we did earlier, just for a moment? For inhale, exhale, coming back in that curled, rounded position for one more time, peeling the left toes back. So if you like pyramid, you could add this variation. Even get more of a stretch. You can probably feel that. Now the transition here, bending the knee again. Have the blocks by my side, but you can have your blocks by your side. If it's in your practice to go into a standing split, Hanumanasana, Artha, we're going to do that now. So from the ground up. So we're going to step that back foot forward, walk our hands forward a little bit, and see if this right leg wants to lift off. Maybe bring the left hand behind the calf. Maybe the right. I'm feeling my right hand doesn't really want to do that today, so I'm going to keep it as a balancer. Excellent. Okay. And then bend. We're not staying long. Okay, we're bending that left knee 3 breaths and pouring back to pigeon. Or I'm sorry, back to pyramid. We will get to pigeon here in a moment. You can flex up or not. And then take it to wide angle forward fold. Bending the left knee, walking our toes in, stretching our arms out in front of you. You want to feel the space
between each vertebra. As we get that Prasarita Padottanasana, the wide angle forward bend. Our arms could reach out here if it's feeling good, or you could take your hands to your ankles and deepen into your forward bend. Tucking the chin to the hollow at the throat. And then slowly reach the wrists underneath the shoulders, walk the heels in, the toes out,
Coming up into a goddess squat. So reaching out and folding in. Extending out, the knees stay bent. And then fold in and we add the twist. We look over our left shoulder, extending that right elbow. And then we come back to center. Going over, of course, to the other side, looking over our right shoulder, extending that left arm. Breathing and twisting. Center. Excellent. Before we go the other side, let's just take it in our mountain pose. Coming to the front of your mat with either namaste hands or eagle heart mudra. Feeling the earth underneath you, feeling the sky above you and everything in between, offering, if that speaks to you, peace and harmony prayers to others. And to the larger world. Okay, we've got that pyramid flow to the other side. So we'll go ahead, inhale, reaching up, exhale, arch toes in, swan dive forward.
Inhale, sweeping out. Exhale, bend both knees, the left leg steps back. And draw that right hip back, left hip forward. You can use blocks. Tucking the chin to the hollow of the throat, somewhere around there. I offer myself fully into the flow of grace. I offer myself fully into the flow of grace. And then we transition first by bending both knees like we did earlier in that quad stretch. We just look forward, a bit of a prep. And then we come back to pyramid and peel. The right toes up, right hip back, left hip forward. Bow into the wisdom of the heart. Three to four full yogic breaths here. And then we bend the knees again to that quad stretch. And then we add what we did earlier, looking at a point in front of you.
Inhaling, arms lift, exhale, heart open. And then one more time with our toes peeled back, pyramid.
And let the sound of the breath nourish you, help you return to wholeness, already whole, already free, already aware. And now we transition into our Hanumanasana, our standing split. Walking our hands forward, using blocks, stepping that left foot in. So here's our balance pose of the day. Lifting the left leg up, And seeing if that right hand wants to come back by the calf, maybe the left, different on each side, of course. Thank you, body, coming back and coming into downward facing dog. Treading it out. Taking your time. Drawing the inner borders of the feet together. And lifting your left leg up. So demo. Left leg up into pigeon. So we bend the left knee. And we step the left knee between the hands. Into Ekapada Raja Kapatanasana. So trying to square forward here as much as possible with the upright heart. So one of the other sacred inquiries in the chant is, what is this power flowing through my will? What is this power flowing through my will? Now let's see as we come down if you want to do the classic resting in our pigeon, or if you want to add a little bit of a twist, threading that right arm through. And you'll feel if this feels right to you. Left elbow bend. Sometimes I roll over too much onto that right hip for this one, but you have to stabilize. Or we can just go to classic, resting at the spiritual eye. Coming into the eternal now as best as you can, releasing the past, future, into the rest in the eternal now. And rising up. Feel the difference of that resting forward and then the rising up energy. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come on to this left cheek more to make that transition of the right knee bending and coming over either in front of the shin or on the outside of the thigh for our seated twist before we go the other side. Shoulders ease away from the ears. Deep twist from the core. Hugging the right knee in. Left hand like a kickstand or the elbow on the outside. What is this power flowing through my will? And can it be other than divine? You're inquiring. It's your practice always. The invitation for sacred inquiry for you to answer that. As we come back, interlock, lengthen. And as a transition, we're going to stretch through our hamstring. We did a lot of hamstring stretches in the pyramid. You can use a strap here. Extending. Try not to round the spine, but lifts the heart toward the toes. Hear the sound of your breath. Rest in that. Rest in this moment. And then see how best you can transition. Well, let's come into a seated pose. So it makes it, let me just take a pause. Some more pausing here. Find that equal breath that worked for you. I'm going to try 4-4. When you're ready, inhale, count your breath. You count and then count the number for the exhale the same as the inhale. Not count your breath, count a number for the inhale and the same for the exhale. Do several rounds here.
What is this power flowing through my will? Can it be other than divine? Right, let's go back to our friend, the down dog, for a transition. So I'm gonna roll up like this, roll onto the toes, get a nice stretch through the toes. And we're gonna step back to down dog, tread it out.
And then you lift up the opposite leg. So lifting up the opposite leg, what would that be? That would be the left leg, correct? I get confused sometimes. And then we step the left knee between the hands.
Sometimes I have to go through it to see it. Actually, I think it's the right knee. So can somebody in the group help me out? Is it the right knee forward? The right knee, okay. I realized as I was doing it. Thank you. Right knee forward. All right. And shimmy shake. Oh yeah, that feels good. Feels good. Feels different. There it is. Sometimes you just have to do it to feel it rather than think about it ahead of time, right? And then let ourselves melt down. So we're melting. And then maybe invitational to add that twist. So possibly feeding the left arm through. Watch we don't roll too far over onto our side. See if this works for your butt. I'm going to readjust. So you can maybe have a little bit of time here, adding the twist, and then regroup or just stabilizing and softening the shoulders. Resting in the eternal now, releasing the past as best as the mind can, and the future, it does that. It goes past and future, but we rest in the eternal now. And when it's time to rise up, here we go. We rise up in our expansion. Make sure you're on top of that left knee behind you. Okay. And then we come onto the right cheek as we sweep this left leg around. You can really tell if we're on the right side now because the left foot could be in front of that shin or on the outside of the shin. You decide, but you want the sit bones as much as possible, rooting into the earth, navel to the spine as you twist. Wrapping around the knee or perhaps on the outside of the knee, the left hand like a kickstand. Looking over the shoulder. And then maybe you ease back a bit and twist even more. Just know that your internal organs are just thanking you for doing the twists and all the poses, but especially our digestion is thanking us for cleansing with the twists. And then coming back. Lots of ways to twist, we know that. And then we lift into our hamstring stretch. So using the strap or reaching around the ball of the foot. Heart lifts. What is this power? Flow into my will. Notice
what comes up for you internally as a response. The chant guides us. Can it be other than divine? All right, bending the knees and let that left foot be in front and just take it in. They're classic seated. Ankles somewhat in alignment. Let's try 4-4 together. Exhale through the mouth. Equal breath. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Focus up the spiritual eye. Exhale through the nose. 3, 2, 1. One more round. Equal breath. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Find what is your body is enjoying in this moment. As it changes, but the equal breath is going to help absolutely balance the nervous system as we draw our knees in. Find there. I'm going to grab a sip of water and we're going to come back onto our spine. All right. So, if you're using a blanket, make sure that your head is on the outside edge of that rolled up blanket. Melting down. Shimmy, shake it. So the shoulders are on the blanket if you're using the blanket. First time on our back, I believe, today. Yes, in the class, rocking side to side. Literally feeling the earth supporting you, supporting all of us. And let's take it in the inner borders of the feet together, the hands on the knees, circle around. 3 times in one direction, 3 times in the opposite. We're going to add our ab strength, similar to what we did last week, and then our twist. So what that looks like is first just lift the legs up 90 degrees, shake them out. Hands gently behind the base of the head and neck, never yanking. You want your core strength to do the work. But we're slowing this down on purpose to really feel the core strength as that right leg lowers. You keep flexing back through the toes. Don't let the heel touch the earth. Lift the upper body. Twist toward the left knee and extend that right arm. And then come back simultaneously. Lifting the leg. Lowering the left leg. Pulsing up, twisting, and the left arm reaches over to the outside of that right knee. We're just going to do this one more time to each side to get the slowness of it. I'm sure most of us know how to do this faster. And it's really, we're intentionally slowing it down to feel the strength that's happening, the twisting action. And then opposites on each side as we come back to a 90, lowering your left leg and then lifting the upper body and then bringing the left arm over to the outside of the right knee and then back to center. Ooh, release the hands, shake out the legs. Lying down lunge. So bending both knees, interlocking either underneath your thigh or on top of that right knee. Left leg extends. Peel the left toes back, right toes back. See if you can bring that knee somewhere by the outside of the right armpit, climbing up the calf, Reaching toward the ball of the foot, it's okay if it doesn't touch. If you want more intensity, you hover off that left heel. Maybe this isn't going to be in everybody's practice. Maybe you want to reach behind and go into a deeper hammock with the arm. If that's too much, just come out into the regular lying down lunge. Of course, conscious breathing. And now we get our deep lying down twist. So we fold that knee in, we plant the right foot down, we swivel the hips over to the right and bring that foot on the outside, pulsing back and forth between the right knee and right shoulder. Head's going along. As always, you decide if you want to extend that leg, the right leg, or keep it bent. Heart open, that's the key. As we open the heart wide, we sweep this right arm up and over and affirm divine life is within me and all around me. Divine life is within me and all around me. Ooh. Okay. Softening your right knee, planting your right foot, swiveling to the side. Let's descend this right leg down and just take it all in before we go to the left side. Adjust the shoulders away from the ears. And breathe. You might feel a line of subtle energy. See if you can feel this from the right hip bone to the left shoulder. That feeling of that cross diagonal twist is still permeating through the body, and then from that shoulder back to the right hip. So it's that diagonal stretch is still happening in the prana body. Okay, of course, we're going to go to the other side. So draw the inner borders of the feet together. Left knee bends, lying down lunge first. So what we'll do is we'll lift the left foot, climb up the calf, maybe use a strap, draw that left knee on the outside of the armpit, hover the right heel off the ground. You'll feel how that balances out the sacral area, the low back. If you put it down, and you're energizing and equalizing as you do this. As you breathe in and breathe out. Making any adjustments, fine tune it. And then when you're ready, taking it into the twist. I like to bring that knee in and plant the foot down to swivel the hips over to the left. Bring the opposite hand to the knee, shoulder, left knee, left shoulder. Let the head release. This, oh, so much unwinding is going on beautifully as we gracefully extend perhaps that top leg. Either way, the right toes turn up. So we got the core engagement, the heart opens, and we sweep the left arm up and above in a beautiful affirmation. Divine life is within me and all around me. And these affirmations come from the Ananda School of Yoga, based on teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda. And that chant as well. What is this life flowing through my veins? Is this divine life flowing through my veins? Can it be other than divine? Open the heart. If it's time, we soften the knee. You can always stay longer or shorter. You know that. Plant the foot, adjust, fold that left knee in, recenter, and then descend. Relax and be. Maybe you feel that subtle, still that it's still happening energetically in the body from the left hip bone to the right shoulder back to the left hip bone, that cross diagonal twist. And moving through your body. And we know we want to come into the central channel. That's where we are free of the sway of duality, up, down, all around. We come into the center, one hand on the belly, the other hand on the heart. And it helps to visualize that central channel, the Sushumna, maybe golden light, or any color you'd like, purple. That speaks to you, that is showing up for you. Know that your chakras are communicating with one another. We've opened up the flow for the communication to happen. We opened up to sacred inquiry. And now we get to just absorb and take rest. Okay, deep Shavasana. We know most of us are choices. Okay, you could stay here. You could add a bolster or blocks underneath your back. You can have the legs up the wall or over a chair or a couch. Just see what works for you for restoration, for restoring. That is what's taking place here. So you get ready, and we'll do eye bags. Or eye bag for the eyes, going inward, warm blanket perhaps, depending on what feels right to you in this moment. Okay, I'll guide us through deep restoration. So depending how your body is positioned, let's take a short to long inhale and tense the body. Vibrate with energy. And then short, long exhale, letting go. And letting the head ease from side to side. Deep restoration, deep medicine, yogic medicine we're taking here. And we know the healing energy is within us and around us, so we open to it. We open the crown, 1,000-petal lotus at the top of the head, and let that healing light and energy pour through, softening the forehead, and especially those tiny muscles and nerves around the eyes. Especially the back hollow sockets of the eyes. Let the eyelids relax. Get heavy. Letting the upper and lower jaw release. That means slightly parting the lips. Feel free to do that.
I'm just tuning into the right ear. The right ear canal, the valley unfolds within the right ear lobe. Listening within and without, outside and inside. You might even feel a channel opening up in the right ear canal by tuning in. And of course, tuning into the left ear, the valley and folds of the left ear, the left ear lobe. Sense if you could hear within that canal opening on the left side. Next inhale, feel the cool air coming in through both nostrils, opening to the spiritual eye. It's already here, already home, already free. We are opening to our wisdom self. And perhaps inquiring, what is this life flowing through my veins? Notice some sensation inside the mouth, the root of the tongue to the tip of the tongue. See if the tip of the tongue could rest just comfortably behind the upper teeth, front teeth. Softening through both shoulders, and feel the radiant sensation streamlining down both arms, left and right. That oceanic sound of the throat vibrating through all the cells of the body. Feeling pulsation, sensation in the palms of the hands, digits of the fingers and thumb, left and right. And just breathing into the chest cavity, allowing space in the front, back, and sides of the heart. What is this energy flowing through my form? Can it be other than divine? Breathing into the intercostal spaces of the ribs and the internal organs. As we breathe deep, deep, deep yogic belly breathing into the low back. Counting works for you, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, just expand and condense. If you're on your back, whatever's touching the earth, let that area of the body get heavy. Feel the support again and again underneath you. Earth, Mother Earth supporting you as you move through the lower limbs now, the cheeks, the thighs, the knees, the calves and ankles, left and right. Open through the soles of the feet, digits of the toes, and the heels. Entire body. Restoring. Returning back to wholeness. And if it's time for you to return to movement, you're welcome to do that. If you'd like to continue to luxuriate in the restoration, of course, you're welcome to do that as well. If you are returning to movement, do so in a way that's nurturing, maybe folding the knees in and resting on the right side in fetal pose. Symbolic of the deep nourishment we've given our cells, our body, our mind, our spirit. Turn to wholeness. And you could send healing prayers to others if that speaks to you. Visualizing those you'd like to send healing prayers to. It could be specific, it could be to a part of the world or the planet itself, as we bring perhaps our hands together to generate heat. It's optional. And the 3-syllable Om sound. Inhale. Om. Om. And bring your hands together in Namaste, bowing to the wisdom of your heart, recognizing that divinity within everyone and everything. That's where we are one. Easing with grace into your day. And I will stop the recording. Thank you for joining.